Good day and welcome to back to Aiden channel. Today I want to talk to you about how I am using my new electric truck to be able to power my entire household. Now, when Ford announced this new truck last year, when they were advertising it, they spoke about how owners of this new truck will be able to power their entire home by using the battery from the truck. And in fact, that is one of the main reasons why I decided that I was gonna buy an electric vehicle. It never occurred to me before that I needed an electric car until I saw that. And so because I am totally off grid. I run my entire house using solar energy. It looked as a good option for me to go ahead and purchase this truck so that I will have an extended use if there was no sun for days, for example. So I decided I'm gonna go put in a reservation and get this truck so that I will be able to use it, obviously, for commuting. And also my main goal was to be able to use it as a generator to power my house, because that was one of the selling points that Ford was using while they were advertising. Now this truck, it actually comes with you have to get an 80 amp charging equipment that comes with the truck if you ordered a Lariat or higher trim. But if not, you have to buy that equipment yourself. And then you will need to have it installed in your house up to where that if there is a blackout in your area, the truck will actually automatically come on if it was plugged in, or automatically just start powering your entire home. Now, I do not have that charging capability yet because I'm waiting for that equipment from Ford. In fact, they're actually using another company, it's a solar energy company, Sunrun, to install and also send those equipments out to customers. Now, I am waiting for my equipment, but I figured out that you can actually use the generator on the truck to power your house, even without that option that they are asking you to have installed by, Sun Solar, which is an expensive option. So come with me and I will show you how I am able to power my entire household using the generator that is on board this truck. Truck comes with two options to be able to power your home. Today I will be talking about the onboard generator, and then in the future I will be talking about the other option, which is called intelligent backup power. In the future, so this truck has the two options, the onboard power and the intelligent power, backup power. These two options can be used to power your entire home if you had a blackout, or if you're like me who lives off grid and there is no sun, then you can use the truck to actually as a generator to power your home. Now today I'm going to be talking about the Pro Power Onboard, how I'm using that to be able to power my entire home. In the future, once I receive all the equipment that is required, I will be talking about the intelligent power, the intelligent backup power to power my entire home. And this one can actually be set up to be automatic if there was a blackout. I have 7,200 continuous wattage at continuously providing power to your entire household. There's a circuit that powers the trunk and the cabin, and that can generate up to 2,400 watts. And then there are two circuits that power the trunk, and those ones can generate up to 3,600 watts each, for a total of 7,000 watts or 7.2 kilowatts. All right. Today I'll be showing you how I'm using the Pro Power Onboard. Now you can use these two together to give you a total of 7,200 watts of power to power your home. But you can also plug into other outlets in the car or in the front, that's in the front, to be able to power other items. You cannot use them all three circuits to give you 9,600 watts continuously at the same time, but you can have 7,200 continuous wattage at continuous. In the trunk of the vehicle, you will find, this is where you will find the onboard power output. Now here there are two circuits, A and B, all right, and these ones, they have just regular 20-volt outlets that you can plug into, you know, if you're working out in the field. And then this one here is a 30 amp outlet right here. This is a 30 amp outlet that you can also plug into. So in order to be able to power my house, I'm plugging into a cord into this 30 amp. So that actually gives you 30 amp at 240 volt. That means you can power 120 volt appliances in your house, and also you can power 240 appliances in your house. So the 240 outlet, it pulls from both A and B in order to give you 120 and 120 at 240. But if you're plugging onto this A, you're only getting 120 volts, or if you're only plugging into B, you're only able to power just the 120 volt machinery or appliances. In order for me to use the onboard power for a generator to power my house, I went out to Home Depot and bought this generator plug-in, right? And this is a 4-prong plug-in. This is the one that I plug onto this 240 outlet. And then in the other end was a female end, but I cut that off and put this NEMA 1450 male end so that I can plug into my NEMA 1450 outlet. That way, that's how I get power from the truck onto the circuits in the household. So here is the NEMA 1450 outlet, and this is the one that I actually use to charge my truck at level 2 charging, right? So this is the same plug-in that I use to put power back into my entire house. First thing I'm gonna do is to make sure that there is the power on board is turned off. All right, so everything is off right now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and plug in go ahead and plug this in into the 240 volts. So that's the first thing I do. Obviously making sure that the power on board is off, because if it was on, this will be live energy right here. So I don't want that. That's why I had to go in the car and make sure that the power is off to these sockets first of all. Then I'm gonna take this end and plug it into my NEMA 1450 outlet. As I said, this is the one that I use to charge at level 2, so I'm just gonna plug that in. All right, so I have this cord plugged in from the trunk of the truck and out into the outlet up here. Now that the cord has been plugged in, I can come in now and turn on the Pro Power on board. Usually automatically the power comes on. It says vehicle must be running. Okay, okay. It says the bed outlet cover is not shut. Supply power to the bed. Yes. All right. Now it's just giving me a warning saying the vehicle power downtime is off. The vehicle will run supply power to the outlets until the Pro Power reserve setting is reached. So it's just giving me a warning. I have it set to where it will turn off if there's only 50 miles of range are left. So that's okay. Or you can always set it up. Say, okay, when it gets down to 50% of battery remaining, turn off. Or when it gets down to whatever number you want, you can do that. Now, as you can see, it's showing that the power on board in the truck is on, and right now it's just saying it's only using less than 90 watts because there's really nothing drawing power. There's nothing drawing power in both sockets A and B. It's just drawing less than 90 watts because there's nothing drawing power right now. The front and cabin also is just drawing not less than 90 because the front is actually off, which I can turn it back on, but I want it off. And then obviously this is the interior of the car. It's always on. All right, now that I've made sure that the cord is connected, now I'm gonna go to my main panel of the house, and then I will turn the power on in there. This is the main panel of my house, right? With all the sockets, with all power that goes into the entire house. All right. Now here is a 125 amp breaker that brings the solar energy from this sub panel, because everything solar meets here and then the power comes out into the main panel. So this is the main breaker that brings power into the main panel. So I have to make sure I turn that off before I turn this breaker on. This is a 50 amp breaker, and this is what I'm using for as a generator. And this is where the power is going to come in. But I have to make sure that I turn this off first before I turn the power on board on. So I'm going to do, so since they're facing in the same direction, I'm just going to go, and you will see the lights will go off and back on. All right. So as soon as I turn that off, this one came back on. And now the vehicle, the inverters in the vehicle started making that noise, because now they are inverting. They are starting to invert power. Now if you look in the car, it's going to show you how much energy is being used. Now I'm inside the vehicle. It shows that number one, it's using, now this is the entire energy that my household is using right now. All right, this is at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's saying it's pulling 650 watts from circuit B, and also is pulling 380 watts from circuit A. All right, that is, you know, it can pull a total of 3600 from circuit A, and a total of 3600 or 3600 watts from circuit P, for a total of 7200. Now I'm gonna do a load test, and we will see how this power changes around. You can see the lights are on in the garage, and this is all, the entire home is being powered right now from the vehicle, from the truck. All right, and all that power is just coming from the trunk, coming via this cable, and then going up into this circuit outlet up here, and then from there into the main panel. Vehicle, the energy is still the same at 340 and 680. That is just you know, like, that's just the base energy that every appliance that I have in the house is pulling. So here in a little bit, the well pump is gonna kick on. Once the water runs for a little bit, the well pump is gonna kick on, and you will see how the power goes up, how it'll go up here. Let's see. The well pump has now kicked on, and now we are drawing 3100 watts from circuit A, and 3490 from circuit B, for a total of let's see, that is 6500 watts. And you know, when the well comes on at the first time, it draws quite a bit of energy. So this is gonna go down shortly. The only issue with using this generator on board from my truck is that I have to be very careful on what appliance I have to use. So if I'm gonna run a microwave, I have to make sure there's nothing else on. If I am going to, for example, run water from, you know, the well, I have to make sure that no other appliance is on. Otherwise, you know, once these numbers go above 3600 and 3600, so let's say above 7200, then it cuts off the power. That was just one example of one heavy load that pulls out a lot of energy in my household, and how this truck, the power on board, the generator on board the truck, is able to power that that well pump. So it's pretty much pulling about 6,500 watts. That's just a little bit below how much this truck can provide continuously. Now I can't really add anything else, because if I do, for example, turn on a microwave that is let's say 1,500 watts, that's gonna go above 7,200, and then the power supply will be cut off. Ford was advertising, saying that you can actually use the power on this truck to be able to power your home entirely for 3 days. If you didn't have any power for 3 days, the power on board this truck will be able to power your household for 3 days. That's what they have said. Now I've done some math, and for example, if you are using, let's say, 30 kilowatts of energy on a daily basis in your house, you should be able to power your house for 3 or 3.5 days with if you have 100% charge and then you have a blackout in your area. Now the good thing about this is that this, unlike a diesel or gasoline generator, this vehicle, it will just be in your truck. It can be running right in your garage without, you know, worrying about carbon monoxide or any of those fumes that will come out of a diesel or gasoline truck, right? Just stays right in my my garage. Is running quietly. From time to time, the inverters will actually kick on to just cool the temperatures. But like right now, you can hear it just came on from time to time. But then other than that, no issues. It's parked in the garage. It can be running like this for days without any worries. So that's just one way how I'm able to power my entire household using the Pro Power on board to power my entire household. Now once I get my intelligent backup power from Ford, I will be installing them right here in my household, and I will be doing a video to tell you how that works. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. And in the future, hopefully very soon, I will be publishing a video on how the other option of powering your whole entire house using the energy from the F150 Lightning works. That's how, as soon as I receive those equipments that are required.